Hello, Blocky crew. This is Moses, Michael, and Alex for Blocky Biology. So, Alex, what are we going to do today?
Well, Moses, today we're going to be talking about the cell cycle, mitosis and cytokinesis, regulation of the cell cycle, asexual reproduction, and multicellular life. So, in order to learn about the cell, you first must know about the different mutations that can occur. Within the cell, this is a regular, normal, healthy cell. And within the cell, suddenly, if cells don't go past the checkpoints, they can turn into what's called cancer. And there's two different types of cancer. There's the type of cancer that's contained and has no kind of uncontrollable behaviors and are mostly harmless, called benign tumors. And then there's the kind that kills everybody, called malignant tumors. And these tumors are uncontrollable and split into several more tumors and can even cause fatal death. The cell cycle is the division in eukaryotic cells that causes two new cells to form. In the cell cycle, there are four stages: gap 1, synthesis; gap 2, and mitosis. The first stage, gap 1, is where regular normal functions occur. There's also a DNA checkpoint that is vital to the sustenance of the cell. In this checkpoint, things that happen are mainly to prevent things such as cancer from happening, just making sure that everything's going fine. And from this stage, we move on to synthesis. In synthesis, DNA and organelles are copied, just to make sure and prepare it for splitting. After synthesis occurs, gap 2 can occur. In gap 2, there are more normal functions that occur, and the cell starts to grow to prepare it for splitting. There's another checkpoint in which everything is checked out to make sure it's fine, so that no cancer can occur. And moving from that, the last phase is mitosis. To explain mitosis, we have Michael. Take it away, Michael.
Thanks, Alex. But in order to understand what mitosis is, we need to delve deeper into what a chromosome is. A chromosome is one long continuous strand of double helix DNA. The double helix DNA is a series of proteins that basically decide what our attributes are in life.
Wow!
The second stage of the DNA condensing into a chromosome is whenever the DNA starts to wrap around proteins called histones, forming chromatin.
Wow!
As stated before, the DNA will start to wrap around proteins called histones and will form this, the chromatin, which will further impact the DNA.
Oh my god.
Alright. The chromatin will then start to coil even more and more to form supercoiled DNA.
Wow.
The supercoiled DNA will then condense even more to form one chromatid.
Wow.
Later, one chromatid will join with another chromatid at a center called a centromere. And then at the ends of these chromatids, they will have developed these things called telomeres, which protect the chromatids from losing DNA during mitosis.
Kaboom foam-tastic.
In order to go through mitosis, the cell must first go through interphase, where it copies its DNA and will grow in size.
Brought to you by OxyClean.
During prophase, the DNA and proteins will condense into chromosomes. At the same time that this is happening, the nuclear envelope around these chromosomes will start to break down, the centrioles will move to opposite poles, and the spindle fibers will start to form.
Go, Michael!
The third stage of mitosis is anaphase. During anaphase, the chromatids will separate to opposite sides of the cell. Cytokinesis will typically begin either in late anaphase or in telophase.
Oh, whoa!
The fourth stage of mitosis is telophase. During telophase, the nuclear membranes will start to form, the chromosomes will uncoil, and the spindle fibers will fall apart. And then the final stage of mitosis is cytokinesis. During cytokinesis, the two cells will have split apart with being genetically identical to each other.
Wow.
After this, the two cells will start interphase and start the cycle all over again.
Oh.
This entire process is extremely important for your body to keep under normal functions throughout your entire body. I just made a redundant statement. The process is extremely important to help keep your body undergoing normal functions. One of these examples would be, say you fall and scrape your knee on the ground or something. Your body would then start to perform mitosis in order to make more cells to heal that area of the body.
No.
So now we're here with Moses for asexual reproduction.
Thanks, Michael. So what we have right here is a regular cell.
Wow.
And asexual reproduction,
Wow.
the asexual reproduction is the creation of offspring from a single parent and does not involve the joining of gametes.
Stop pausing.
So in asexual reproduction, this parent cell right here is going to split right in half. And there we have our two daughter cells. So, let's learn about stem cells and specialized cells. First off, what makes specialized cells so special? Well, good question. They go through a process called cell differentiation. Cell differentiation is the process by which unspecialized cells develop into their mature forms and functions. While almost every cell in your body has a full set of DNA, each type of cell uses only the specific genes it needs to carry out its function. So,
Go, Moses.
they finally mature and get to do their own function. Now, what's the deal with these stem cells? Well, stem cells are unique because of three different properties. The first one being dividing and renewing themselves for long periods of time. The second one is that they remain undifferentiated in form, and the third one is that they develop into a variety of specialized cell types. What does that mean? Well, when a stem cell divides, it forms either two different stem cells or a stem cell and a specialized cell, as shown here. Up here we have the two stem cells, and over here to the right we have the specialized cell and the stem cell.
Yeah.
Now that we know how cells reproduce and of the different kinds of cells, how do they work together? Good question. They form tissues. Tissues are groups of cells that work together to perform a similar function. When a bunch of tissues are grouped together, these are called organs. Organs are groups of tissues that work together to perform a specific function or related function. One example of this is the lung. So, in the lung is an organ, and it's made out of lung tissue. The lung tissue helps the lung perform its functions and helps the human breathe. Earlier, Alex talked about the cell cycle and the different stages, but one thing he left out was gap zero. What is gap zero? Well, it's when cells rarely divide, or just never divide in the first place. An example of this are the neurons in the brain.
Woo!
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to rate the video and comment on the video. And if you're new, make sure to subscribe. We'd love to have you here.
Thanks for watching and enjoying our beautiful creation that we put time and hard work into. It took a lot of effort.
Now go and learn something new, Blocky crew.